Okay, so today we'll discuss kind of the wiring of the this Warren wireless control system that we're going to hopefully integrate into our Honda side-by-side, just so that everyone's kind of clear on it. The part number is 9288 for the complete system. So kind of accompanying this, obviously took it out of the box, but the transmitter kind of in its little holster as well. And then it came with some additional cables, connections, twist ties, kind of a wire splicer, and then the actual unit itself. Now we've started doing some work on this, so I'll kind of present it to you. You'll see parts of it there. What we've done is the kind of to the power in, or the key on power in. Again, we picked this up from Honda side-by-side, or xs.com, and effectively this is a connector that's going to go into that key on power connector under the hood of the side-by-side. So we'll make that connection. It came as a pigtail, and all we did was effectively just solder it on, and then we've kind of applied our heat shrink wrap around it, shrunk everything down. What we also did as well, we'll show you the instructions, but what we also did is there's a few kind of what I refer to as communication connections that will be going to kind of the winch controller, the winch, I think they refer to it as the contactor. These are going to go what we refer to the box, and then these two series of switches, or these two series of cables, are actually going to go to kind of the wire. So we've kind of separated them based upon kind of the male-female plug connectors. We've kind of tied them together so we know they go in groups, and we've kind of labeled them accordingly. One going kind of to the wires, and the other going to the box, which we refer to that Warren contactor. And the other one will be kind of a ground connection. That'll be pretty straightforward to implement as well. So from the manual, kind of the overview of it, you know, I'm kind of jumping to step 4, but there's a series of steps that they provide to you. Certainly mounting all the winch components. In our case, everything was done. Mounting the receiver, I chose not to do that just yet. I kind of wanted to deal with the wiring and make sure that everything, all the connections are correct before I start mounting. Also routing the harness. We've kind of tentatively done that. You saw that in the earlier part of the video. The big thing now is connecting the wiring. So the assembly does kind of come with these small little connectors, spade to kind of a plug, for both kind of black and green connectors, as well as some twist ties, and again something you can kind of splice into. So I'm not the biggest fan of the splicing into, so we're going to kind of pull that aside. We use the tie downs. These ones that they provided, they would potentially somewhat work, but we've developed our own connectors. So you can kind of see them here. I've got kind of my because on mine I have these, I think they're referred to as kind of the spade flag connectors. So what we've done is we've just kind of wired them up. There's a little bit of a kind of a housing that's associated with the contactor there in the under the hood. So we've kind of set those up, and we've kind of wired them, or with them kind of put on again the appropriate plug connectors. So we've done that. For this case, they're going to both go to the contactor, and this one, in this case here, they're going to kind of go to the existing wires that are on there, which effectively just go to the switch. All right. So just so we can kind of understand, I know they kind of refer to it as plug and play. I don't think, like I said, not necessarily that, but we've disconnected the green and the black from the green and the black here, from the contactor to the switch, and effectively what we've rigged up is kind of our own connectors, you know, so that we don't need the Warren values, the Warren ones, so that again I have kind of those right angle flag connectors that'll go into the receiver, as well as the red that connects to my key on power. So that's going to go on and get into that socket that's available under the hood, and then to the existing green and black, again I have my other connectors there. So I've just mimicked those kind of off the spade connectors that are available here. So effectively I'm just pulling off the flag connectors from the contactor, and then I'm going to make appropriate connections from that will effectively be these green and blacks. So I'm going to make appropriate connections to obviously the unit, as well as the same thing here. So, and then following that, mounting the holster, doing a system check, and replacing batteries if necessary. We'll get to that a little bit later, but first the wiring is kind of the big thing, so just so that we can understand where we're going through. Again, I wouldn't say that it's plug and play. It takes a little bit of effort, but basically disconnect again the green and the black from the switch to the contactor. Those will be disconnected, and to that then you're going to have two connections coming from your receiver again that will now go to that existing green and black that are under the hood of the side-by-side, and then again there'll be kind of an appropriate green and black that are going to the contactor using our flag spade connectors. Okay, so we're just kind of working some of the wiring and kind of laying out the wire to get kind of the this is the receiver, and then we've got kind of our transmitter. So again, kind of the transmitter has its and then you just got to be mindful. Again, it's right now it's in its off state, but to activate it you got to kind of push and hold both buttons, and then the active light becomes green, and then you can either bring it in or out, kind of according to the illustration. If not, if you're just going by the dimples, I always like that. The dimples on the inside are actually kind of impressed in, and the dimples on the outside are actually pushed out, so you can just go by feel actually. We'll just leave this in the unit for now. And again, it's in the off state. So now underneath here, you can kind of see under the hood, we've got the receiver here. So we'll probably mount that there, just tentatively kind of to try it. We put things in place. I've kind of routed my harness up above and over. You see here, that was the original from the kind of that blue tape region. we took that off. We were able to make our connections with the key on power. So we're gonna kind of tie that down, twist tie it down in a few moments. And then we're going to bring over kind of the routing of the harness, the cables. We made all our connections. Again, remember we had the ones that kind of indicated to the wires, and the other one that went to the box. So the box is actually this entity here. If you kind of look on this side, you'll see there's kind of two, black connection and then the green connection. So I was a little bit concerned, or not really, but I want to make sure I had 18 gauge wire across the board here. So unfortunately I ran out of green 18 wire cable, so I just we used red, and then we duct taped it, or we used the green electrical tape to identify the green. So we made our connections there. So this was the existing green and black pair that went to the contactor. Again, we just kind of pulled those off and then made our connections with the kind of the plug connectors there. So we've done that. Again, that goes to the wires and then to our box. We did the same thing again. Remember, we put those flag connectors in there. We just took those off, made those connections, and then just connected them up. So probably what we'll do is we'll tie them down in such a manner and then kind of put things in the back there, so that it'll kind of ensure that the stuff won't come loose during use, and then we'll just kind of tie everything down. All right, we already did give it a try just to see, does it work? And certainly the ground cable, the ground cable has to be kind of connected to the ground as well. So we just unscrewed that kind of brass nut there, just a 10mm nut, took it off and put that on and made the connections. So we'll just kind of wind things up and maybe just hide it nicely kind of in the little voided area that we have there. Okay, so we've kind of finalized the routing and twist tied everything kind of down, so it's a bit more cleaner than what we said before. So you can kind of see, if you look over here, we kind of have our previous wire connections that we made. The cover we put back onto the contactor, so that's kind of all set. We've kind of just tied everything down. There's quite a nice volume in there that kind of allowed us to put the remaining the wire. There was kind of excess wires with the power, so we just kind of left that. You can see kind of our power connection here. We've twist tied kind of above it, below it, We have this other twist tie back there as well to kind of help keep it, so it's kind of constrained quite nicely. It should be okay. You've got your receiver here, and again what we've done, we've tied that down there, as well as you kind of see we tied it down here. I suspect with vibrations this may, well, it's actually quite firm in there, so it should be okay. But then we've kind of routed everything. You kind of see following the kind of the scheme up here, tying everything down. We're kind of tapping into this, and then the other, the negative kind of ground connection to this. So we should be okay. I think it's pretty compact. I'm hoping that the hood's not going to give it any troubles. Looks like it should be out of the way. And then we'll just kind of finalize it, and we'll show you how it works in a few moments. Okay, so the operation is pretty straightforward. You've got the transmitter here, and again the receiver on the unit. So to activate it, you got to push and hold both of them for, I don't know, 5 seconds or so. And then you'll see that active light turn green. So now it is on. So what we'll do is we will first kind of winch it in, winch it out. I guess just to kind of confirm, we will have the operator just kind of use the switch that's inside the cabin. So please, if you don't mind, pull it out there. Coming out. That's good. Okay, and then he can bring it back in, please, if you don't mind. Okay, that's good. All right, and now we'll try it here. Again, you can kind of see the in and the out, so we'll pull it out. All right. And then again, just to confirm the operator, you're not doing anything right now, so his hands are free. Okay, and then we'll pull it in. Kind of done there, and then when we're done with using it, just make sure that if there's no interference, radio interference, again we'll just kind of push and hold both of them, and then eventually it shuts off. The active LED dims out, and we're done. Now certainly it doesn't work if I push in or out alone. It's all dead. But the operator inside can certainly should be able to operate the device. So pull it out there, please. Thank you. Okay. And then please pull it in again. Perfect. A little more. Good. Perfect. Okay. So I think the only other thing we'll do, we'll put the hood back on. We don't foresee any issues with that. And then that's the installation. So although it be not maybe perfectly plug and play, to be honest with you, as long as you kind of follow the electrical, it can be done. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them down there, or if you have any queries, by all means. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.